Hello again, and hopefully you're all enjoying your holiday period. We're in that sort of bit of time where it's between Christmas and New Year's, where we're all sort of sat there thinking, not really sure what to do with myself right now. Well, here's 10 minutes to fill, and you can have a look at some of the shirts that I got for Christmas. Hopefully you guys got something cool also. So in total I got 4, and I'm going to be breaking it down into 4 videos going forward. So I'm going to do 1 video per shirt. Gives me an opportunity to create more content and also to explain about them a little bit further. I'm very, very happy with all of them, so I'm not picking them out in any particular sort of order. So I'm going to start with this one here, and then we'll go forward from there. So, what is it? It is, well, we'll start with the back, shall we? It is this one. Now, for you, some of you, you may already recognize it because you've seen it for sale online. But for those of you who are not familiar with this shirt, I think you're going to be pretty excited to see and hear about it because it's quite cool. This shirt actually does make me laugh in quite a few different ways, and I did quite a little bit of investigating as well, and some things I still don't quite have answers for yet. So of course I've opened them all up, so there's going to be no unpackaging. So I will dress the mannequin and I'll explain to you a little bit more about this shirt and the club itself. Rightio then, there is the shirt, looking good as always, and for those of you who recognise the shirt, well done, and for those of you who are not familiar with it but may be able to deduce by the fact that there is a giant Nigerian flag on the chest there, that it is, of course, a Nigerian team. Now, Nigerian football is quite interesting because internationally, at least for their national team, they're quite popular. They've had some great actual teams in World Cups. As for football shirts, of course, their last few home releases at the very least have been very popular and very sought after, but when it comes to club teams, that's when it's a little bit more sort of interesting, because as you're watching this video right now, tell me your favourite Nigerian club team. Tell me any Nigerian club team. If you're like me, you probably don't know any of them, to be honest, and that's not because most of us watching now are Europeans and we don't care. Actually, in the continent of Africa, they've not been that successful themselves. So for the African Champions League, for all the years it's been running, they've only ever won 2 titles. That was in 2003 and 2004 with a team called Enyimba. Obviously, they were the best team in Africa at that point, but since then, they've won nothing. When you consider that Nigeria is the most populated country in Africa, I think by more than double, it's kind of crazy to think that club football actually isn't on the radar as much. And I think that's interesting, that is. And it kind of makes sense because I've been looking for Nigerian shirts for quite a while now, and I've really, really struggled. Either trying to contact them directly in Africa, which is difficult in most countries, should I say, but seeing them appear for sale, they've either just been like pre-owned ones, or they've not had tags, or they've not had sponsors. So to finally have one that sort of ticks all the boxes is actually really, really exciting. But who is the team? And it's, of course, Sokoto United Football Club, and they don't even play in the top division. They play in the 2nd division, so yeah, they were never going to be on my radar, and I doubt many people's radar. You Wikipedia them, you get effectively one sentence which just says, this is the team name, this is where they're from, this is the stadium they play in, which, by the way, they have it wrong. It wasn't updated for the last year on the Wikipedia page. So there isn't that much information going around. They do have a Facebook page, but yeah, that's kind of it. It is their home shirt from last season, 2020 to 2021. And you will have seen it for sale on Classic Football Shirts. So that's where I saw it appear. And I knew that I had about 1 or 2 months to wait to be able to buy this before it sold out. So it appeared October, I think, possibly, maybe late September. And then as Black Friday approached, I thought, well, boom, let's do it. That's a perfect opportunity. But because I knew people were buying me shirts, I had to sort of carefully suggest that I was going to buy that. So I went around to my dad's and I was like, oh, it's Black Friday. I'm probably going to be getting this Nigerian shirt. And he was like, maybe stay away from that shirt. So at that point, obviously, I knew that I was going to be getting this one, which was really exciting because So it's nice to be able to open up a parcel for something that you genuinely want. So to be able to say that I have it, very, very good. If you are looking to buy it, it costs $24.99. Issue is there's only small, extra large, and extra large available for sale, which can be a bit of a shame because it is a really nice shirt. As for the fit, it is quite actually baggy. So if you are a medium, you possibly could get away with small. If you are extra large, it's going to be quite a sort of baggy extra large. But maybe you might see some floating around elsewhere. So with regards to the shirt itself, it's manufactured by a company called Capspar. It sounds like a fake version of Kappa. But for those of you who are familiar with Turkish language, you know that spar pops up there very, very, very frequently. So let's guess it's a Turkish manufacturer. Yes, it is. And to be honest, there's quite a few Turkish manufacturers that do make shirts for African nations. So I'm going to be sort of looking there to see if I can find a way in that way. But this one's quite interesting because Capspar, they have a website on the tag. That website is dead, doesn't work, which is weird because this is still like sort of almost a current season shirt. No, it's not uncommon for that to happen, but it's weird. So I googled this Capspar and the shirt, and I found a Twitter account, which seems like it was the Capspar Twitter account because they had a lot of behind the scenes with this shirt, and I thought, oh, that's quite interesting. But they've changed the name of the account. Can you do that? I think you can do that. I don't use Twitter. But they still have the logo as Capspar, so at some point they've been active and then disappeared. There was going to be another way that I could check this. So a lot of you who wear football shirts may understand and realise and notice that there are QR codes somewhere, not on all of them, but on some of them, whether it be on the body of the shirt itself or on the inside tags, and that QR code just takes you to usually the manufacturer's website. This shirt has one also. It has it on the bottom of the body there. And unfortunately for them, they've positioned it so close to the hem of the shirt that they've stitched through the QR code, which of course means if you scan it, you get absolutely nothing. It doesn't go anywhere because it's like, well, there's nothing here. So I think the quality control on this was probably not too great. I think they should have just maybe raised it up a little bit higher. But of course, the irony is, if I would have been able to have scanned, it would have just gone to a dead website anyway. So maybe they knew that was coming. But on the tag, there is what seems to be a parent company, Captainspar, which when you Google them, they do exist. They seem to be more like a Adidas outlet sort of dealer. Everything they do is like Adidas stuff. So maybe they've decided to maybe try their own hand at manufacturing themselves and created Capspar, sort of like if Sports Direct decided to do their own manufacturing. It's a terrible idea, terrible thought. And then obviously that's just not sort of gone well, and they've decided to phone it in. So that's, it's an interesting one. It's a manufacturer that kind of doesn't exist anymore. I do like the logo. That's quite cool. They've made a few of the shirts. Classic Football shirts have a few more of theirs, but I don't think any of the other ones have a sponsor on, so for me it's not going to be ones that I'm going to be buying. For the shirt, any other details? So it has this sort of tribal pattern on the front, which reminds me of like either a fidget spinner or a Beyblade, if you remember those. They were pretty cool, weren't they? So that's quite interesting, and it runs up and down the side and on the back. Of course, we have the Nigerian flag on the chest there. There is also a similarly large Nigerian flag on the neck. I think it's just a bit too big. And then on the back, there is what I can only presume is the nickname of the club. It says Caliphate Stars. Now, I can only imagine that refers to the Sokoto Caliphate from like 1800 or something like that. There's a Wikipedia article on it. Read it. It's quite interesting, actually. So I can only imagine that's what it is. It does have patches. It has both the Nigerian Football Association and the league patch. So that's quite cool. I do quite like that. But everything is sort of woven into the material. It's the typical African shirt. Not the most exotic of materials used and design approach. It's definitely not vapor knit, but it's Nigerian shirt, and you don't see them too often. So I'm very, very happy to finally add Nigeria to my collection. I don't really think I'm going to be finding too many more as the time goes ahead, but if there are any more up here, then I will try my best to buy them. But that's it. That's the first of 4 shirts that I can show you. I'm very, very pleased. I think it's quite cool. Definitely stands out, doesn't it? As for Friday's video, I'm just going to be doing my top 10 shirts that I've added to the collection for 2021. That is going to be quite a difficult video because I've added so many good shirts this year, whether it be really well designed ones, really rare ones, perfectly pink ones. It's going to be probably a mixture of all of them, to be honest. So I'm going to figure out over the next few days which ones I want to rank in the top 10, and that's kind of it really. And then as the new year enters, we'll do some more shirts that I got for Christmas. I have quite a few on order. And then, yeah, I think the first video, though, is going to be my plans for 2022 with regards to the channel and the collecting aspect as well. I'm thinking of maybe changing the format slightly with regards to what days the videos come out, just to make it a little bit more friendlier for me. But we'll see. And, of course, you as the viewers can input as well. It's your right, of course. But yeah, that's it. I hope you all continue to enjoy your holidays, and I will see you on Friday. Thank you for watching as always. Goodbye.